Good afternoon. How you doing, everyone? Welcome to MaryAnne's Mystic Mentions, and welcome to your daily sun sign love connection readings. And I'm the person that mentions the mysterious aspects of life and the readings and the energies and so forth. I'm MaryAnne, and I'm really excited. I hope you're feeling good about the beginning of this week that ends in the next 2 days, June, and then enters into July, all in the same week. So that's a powerful, energy kind of transformational thing going on right there. And then we have the 4th of July weekend, and that's always a lot of fun, right? And we try to be, I don't know about last year, but I have a feeling this year is going to be a whole lot different. That's what I'm hearing, and that's what I'm feeling, and I think you can agree on that mostly. Hopefully, let me know. I always like to hear your comments, and I appreciate every single one of you for tuning in, because it's a time thing, and your time is precious. And I'm here to just hopefully help you and lift you up and inspire you and give you messages that you may feel very connected to, So we're having the beautiful featured sign of Aquarius today. And I actually moved my business over the weekend. So I recorded on Saturday, but then yesterday I didn't. And we have Aquarius and Pisces left, which are of course the last two signs of the zodiac as I go around my zodiac wheel. Those are the featured signs so that everybody knows they get a reading each month twice. I do the beginning of the month and the end. Now, because we're on the last couple of days of the month, these readings are good whenever you actually watch them. The messages are just as potent and just as important, I guess you could say. And so what I like is that you inevitably, Aquarius, will be feeling the energies going into July, of course, as this week goes on. And because you have to wait a little longer for the beginning of the month, when July and every month starts, that's kind of good, because you can resonate and marinate with the interests of and the idea of and the energies and see how it is actually connecting with you or resonating with you. Before you know it, you'll have your July readings. I do one a day with the two combinations, as opposed to a lot of the readers that do, the whole 12 signs and then they post them. Because of my job and stuff like that, I do what I can. So, and I love it. So I don't want to stop. What I will say though is I'm going to pick the highlighted connection for the featured sign of Aquarius today, and that's the sign that Spirit wants me to show you right in front of you. It's very spontaneous, but it's very important. The messages have to do with a person that's of importance to you specifically, or maybe one you're not sure of or know of yet that could be coming into your life. It's happened a lot, and especially when we had the retrogrades. There's a lot of planets in retrograde in the outer planets now, but Mercury retrograde, it went forward. We do have like around July 7th, 8th, when it would be completely out of the shadow period, and I can feel the clarity coming through. This is important for you, Aquarius. You're all about the mind and the clarity and the ideas and the inventions and the freedom, and how perfect for Independence Day, right? That's so suiting for you. But I will be reading 3 major category messages for this highlighted, like I do every day. So your highlighted connection, Aquarius, that is important for you to know about for some reason that I don't know. As a general reading, is going to be Capricorn. Now let me double check. I'm pretty sure we just did Capricorn. If we do 2 in a row, I do ask to have Spirit show us a different one. Let me double check that. We actually read for the featured sign of Capricorn, and that's the difference. So I'm going to go for it. If it's not a highlighted and it's the feature, that makes sense. Gemini was the highlighted with Capricorn, but we're going to go with Capricorn. Capricorn is right next to you on the astrology wheel. So there is this energy that's always kind of there with the two of you. And might I say that for being as different as you are, you being the air sign I mentioned, all about the mind, very strategic, logical, intelligent, always wanting to learn and expand and grow, and that's how you operate, through your mind. You try to push down those emotions. You don't want them to be distracting you until a different time, because of course you're a very emotional person. We all are, and now with Jupiter in the sign of Pisces through the end of this month of July, and then going back into your sign, Aquarius, till December 28th, it was in there for the first 5 months, and you got a taste, and now you're going to get it again. Be prepared for how amazing and wonderful these thoughts that you're thinking about, these ideas, these trips, these relationships you want to be around and connect with more, that's going to happen, especially with Mercury going forward, which is about just that, communicating, networking, you know, expressing and sharing and all the things you love to do and you love to help. You're there for that. You like to help everybody and be fair and have it be just, and it's a beautiful thing. And then you have Capricorn, that is that earth element, you know, it's all about success and planning his practicality on and how he can make things work in the physical form, you know, his jobs, his home life, his foundation, his family, his wants and needs and so forth. I mean, you know, it's a really good combination. Now, you're a fixed sign, Aquarius, which means you're very determined and stubborn at times on things that you want. You represent the one of the tarot cards that is the star. So you make those wishes, you believe them with every cell of your body, and it's an internal thing, and then you recognize the divine intervention, and it just kind of really just all falls into place in a beautiful, almost miraculous, and everything's a miracle anyway, in miraculous ways, especially with this Jupiter influence, even in Pisces, which is all about creation, all about imagination, creativity, a definite compassion and love for others and family. And we're in the season of Cancer, so it's definitely heart-centered and emotional time. Going on vacations, you know, being with people you love and haven't seen for a long time now. You know, that's what 4th of July is about. It's always in Cancer season every year. So it's just so fitting and it feels so beautiful because I know we all want this. We've wanted it. And I got a taste of it because my kids helped me move, and it was just, and my sister, and I just feel really grateful for them. And I'm sure that's a lot of this feeling you're feeling. And then there's healing with this beautiful Pisces energy and Jupiter. Remember, Jupiter expands everything. And it depends on what the main objectives are, right? And for you, when it goes back into your sign, it's about your ability to express and to share and to grow yourself, you know, intellectually and spiritually in any way you want. So you represent the tarot card that's the star. And I thought I would pick the beautiful deck of the Star Spinner Tarot because it has a star in it. And you know what? This latter part of the month, the second half readings, I have been choosing a different tarot deck just for fun because I wanted to go with my gut and feel what I thought would be good for that particular sign of the day, the featured sign. And then I switched the tarot, the oracles like twice a month, but I actually fooled around with those a little bit. And I'm thinking I might do this changing of the tarot per sign or per signs, depending on what my gut's telling me and my intuition, because I love working with my intuition. It is a gift. And I want to continue it, I think. So I picked that beautiful deck for you. You have Capricorn, that is the cardinal sign. He actually initiates the season of winter. So it tells me, if you don't know immediately of a person that has the tendencies and the energy and outlook in life, doesn't matter the gender, of a Capricorn, which has all the things I mentioned, and the steadfast, loyal, you know, hardworking, Saturn ruled, like it's all, you know, let's make this happen, let's stay on task. Well, we've had Saturn in your sign all year too, Aquarius. It is retrograde. All that means is it's really more of an internal recognition of what you need to stay on track with, okay? When it comes to a job, for example, getting the resumes out and making sure that you're on time about responses you get and people interested. With your children, they're going away to college, getting all the data information, you know, and all the blah, all the things. I mean, it just goes on and on. There's so many different variables. But yeah, Saturn is going to keep you in a place that's going to be a little more constrictive for you, which isn't always great. But it actually ends up helping you so much in the end so that you don't blow it or you don't overdo it or you don't get too extravagant for too long. I mean, you can always have samples of that. Oh my gosh, it's your year with Jupiter in it. That comes every 12 years. You have to have some exaggeration and some amazing, wonderful fun times and you know, splurges. But yeah, Capricorn is a solid stability kind of sign, friend, you know, lover, relationship. And I see these combinations with the two of you or any earth sign, they tend to be long-term. Or your idea for a new business, it's going to be permanent, it's going to stay, it's going to stick. So I like that energy a lot. And it feels like a lot of things this year are in our favor in general. And so, yes, and not to, be remiss about the last, last two, because, eclipses always run in pairs. The full moon eclipse that was on May 26th in the Sagittarius is very complementary to you. Fire, energy, optimism, ruled by Jupiter. Just that it's happening. Gifts, luck, being at the right place at the right time. Adventure, travel, higher learning, all the things that really excite you. And those are the messages and the storyline and the information that's going to keep coming through for us for months to come now. Then this last one was on June 10th. It was Gemini, which is your fellow air sign. So it's been a very compatible, kind of easier going energy with not as many challenges or squares, as I call it, to other planets that don't work as harmoniously with you. But it's good. I'd love if you could share with me some of the stuff, because my sister's an Aquarius and some really good stuff is happening. And so, yeah, it's just information. You can take it as you will and accept it as you will. And mind you, if you are not an Aquarius, you may have a moon or rising or Venus. That's absolutely applicable to these readings, because that means that you still have that energy in you to understand and maybe pick up on these gifts and these informational things coming through. So let's go on with the reading. And that's going to be, like I said, the three major categories. First being the overall energy that led you to the reading. And I always say go back to the beginning of the month reading if you can, if you missed it, because you get a real idea of how things are moving, if they're getting more, better than before, which is, I'm going to be honest with you, my readings have been phenomenal for expansion and growth, and because movement is happening, that Mercury retrograde alone, it's not that difficult, but it can slow things down, and it does delay communication, and it does cut off our plans at times unexpectedly, and you got to be flexible. But then when it's over, it's like everything you were working on that you couldn't do during that time, it opens up like the floodgates. And this has happened to me in the last week. It's so beautiful. So it's true to form. And so your first category of overall energy for the two of you, beautiful connection of Aquarius and Capricorn, is this the Knight? Put on your glasses, MaryAnne. I want to say it's the Knight of Pentacles. It could be the Page. Let me double check. It's the Page. Okay, no, it's the Knight. It says right on top. I'll try to put it, I hope it doesn't get blurry for you. The Knight of Pentacles. Wow, there's that earth energy. There's that money. There's information and news, because Knights always bring us news. They're the court card. And this is a little more mature than the Page, which is the youngest and the more, maybe not so experienced, or maybe a new idea is just getting off the ground. And you have the green representing our heart. There's passion. There's, once again, it has to do with your income in some way, when it's the pentacles or the coins, or just, the comforts and feeling good about that sort of thing. The Knight is the slowest when it's the pentacles. So it's not that it's, patience is, of course, always a part of this when it's out of all the Knights. The coins would be the slower moving, but I'm feeling that it's letting you know that the slow movement I'm talking about is going to expedite and going to speed up. And it will be given you, and it will have information in the month of July that's going to really start things and really make things moving, or get things moving. I want to say that it also represents possibly dreams, like your star kind of vision you have, to incorporate something maybe different, something new, investing in something you haven't yet, investing in a child maybe, college like I mentioned earlier, other avenues to put your money into that will then grow it and expand it with this beautiful opportunity of yours this year, and making the right choices, of course, and doing your due diligence with Jupiter in your sign, Aquarius. I think you're going to get some real interesting offers, and maybe more than one. And if you'll notice, it's so cool. You have the two stars in the corners. So yeah, it's about your dreams. It's really, or maybe it's in all of the cards. I don't really know. Yeah, it is. But I love it anyway. So this is good. This is really, really nice, especially if you've been waiting and you're like, oh my gosh, when am I going to get the last word on blah, 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 right? it's time. It's time. And I really can stand very, very firm behind what I'm saying because of my absolute faith and trust in being able to be authentic with you about what I've experienced, what I know people around me are experiencing, and what the energies of the planets do continuously in cycles and all the sort of things for centuries before we were even thought about, right? So it's a really cool indication. And I mean, it's just feeling that comfort, you know, that comfort and stability that we really want in all of our lives, right? And it could be that beautiful familiarity with this relationship or family, like I mentioned, but you're going to be comfortable and financially set. So the second category is the possible blessings or obstacles. And it kind of is like, it's always a storyline, you know, when you're doing tarot, and our journeys and how they affect us, and, you know, the ways we have choices. So from this night and message that's coming about your stability and your finances and your practical parts of life that are going to be pleasantly, surprisingly growing, maybe ways you're not sure of. Those eclipses bring things in and information for a long time now. Even it could happen right at the eclipse. Sometimes it happens an actual month later, which would make it July 10th from the last one. The Gemini, which is communication. It's all about communication and getting out there and being strong and empowered in what you need to say and standing up and feeling really good about that. Here we go again. So, okay, you go from the Knight, and the possible blessings or obstacles is the Page. So the Page is, like I said, it's the coins again, though. It's money, it's information, it's new ideas. It's still fresh, it's younger, it's still in the planning stages. The Knight can bring you opportunities and information about money that'll help you towards what you're doing or that new property you want to buy, but you're just thinking, okay, I don't know exactly which area I want to live in, so we're still going to be looking at that, but it's definitely going to happen. And it's about conversations, and there's this beautiful archway that's got flowers, and behind the fence there and in front is a beautiful luxury, you know, plush, you know, green and very abundant looking area, which means that's yours to have, something you're looking forward to. New information can come through. It could involve a child, once again, because of the youthful part, or somebody that's younger than you is involved in some way a lot of times when the Page represents itself. But it's good. It's the Pentacles. It's about the security. It's about having enough. It's about knowing that and ways to make that occur. So this is a double on the coins, and I think the influence of the Capricorn is probably a big part of it. You might also have Capricorn or Taurus, the money sign, both earth signs in your chart somewhere. So that's interesting to find out too if you ever want to. It's a free site, you know, Cafe Astrology, astro.com. You're so much more than your sun sign. The sun sign is a very important part of us, of course. Our personality, our traits, you know, our wants, our ego, the day and the month we're born, our season, you know, we get to celebrate every year. And I mean that. It doesn't matter how old we are. Thankfully, we can say that. Having had a sibling now that's, what, 12 years, well, 11 and a half years younger, who passed a year and a half ago. I mean, it is a blessing to be alive, as long as we choose to look at it that way. And, you know, yeah, the gray hair and all that comes with it, so be it. It's just part of knowing that we've come this far and just embracing and loving every moment that we can and sharing it with others. Final category actually is about finances. So it seems it's very catered to your finances right now. And I think in beautiful ways, Aquarius, I mean this sincerely, this is your year. And I think it's been stifled, and I think it was stopped for a lot of us. Maybe you had to lose a job or change jobs, or you were waiting and you're not sure, you're a temp, I don't know, but all that's changing. It's becoming permanent. It's going to be better money. You're going to invest in these other things that is going to be extremely helpful for your older age. You know, thinking ahead and planning. Ooh, you had the 3. Oh, no, good, thanks. Okay, I mean, all of them are okay. It's just some of them have that, It's the 4 of Swords. So there you are in your energy. There you are, the swords representing the air. The swords representing our fights and our challenges and our necessary need to speak our truth and you know, be as honest and truthful as we can. But sometimes, you know, we're going to have confliction with people who may not agree with us. And those arguments are going to happen to better and to change and to move past that. yeah, that's how it works, you know, and sometimes I get really uncomfortable with confrontation, but there's ways to talk too and ways to say things. So it can be not as dramatic, I suppose. But what I want to say about this is that you are basically, you're taking a rest. You know, there's been a lot of confusion in the last year and a lot of things that just didn't make sense. And we're still figuring out what's really real in some respects, if you know what I'm talking about. All that's coming through though. That Sagittarius full moon eclipse, it was a super full moon. It was amazing. I guess you could see it in Asia and a couple of Australia and stuff, the real deal. It meant that, you know, truth was coming up and truth will be prevailed. And it's amazing. I always refer to the shows where they have DNA that they find from 30 years ago, cases that were left open from various criminal acts and things. And the next thing you know, oh, we found the person. You're like, what? I'm fascinated with that. And I love it because I'm I'm an air sign that cares greatly about fairness and justice and things of that nature. So I just get so excited and emotional about it. And that's kind of where you're at. You've said what you need to say. You have done what you need to do, for heaven's sakes. And I think we're all still healing. I know we're all still healing, whether we realize it or not, from last year. And it feels great. You've got the blessings. Usually Rider-Waite-Smith deck will have in the window this beautiful stained glass, and it shows like angelic, you know, beings just watching over you. You're good. You're safe. You're loved. My goodness, you have Jupiter in your sign. Like I said, it's just been a little respite that it went into Jupiter in Pisces, because that's going to be what's happening next year, you know, for Pisces. And it happens that way all the time. You just get an idea. But it's not over, and it's just kind of almost just, it's going to be amazing. And you're really happy to relax and go on these vacations and just kind of heal yourself in whatever way you need to, because you've got that extra energy coming through for that as well. So I like that a lot. If you're feeling a little less than normal, like, just take it easy. Be kind to yourself, and don't feel like you have to be everything to everyone, okay? When finances are involved here, though, because of the rest and the way that you're feeling more energized, I guess, and more available to others, it's going to it comes in naturally that way. So things are going to be, I want to say, better than you would imagine, especially with the first two cards having to do with that. But you'll be finding out. You'll have those informational conversations, and it's coming up if it hasn't already. It's coming, okay? And then the new moon in July, I think it's the 10th or something, maybe the 9th, I'm sorry. I did know, but I don't remember this exactly, but it's right around there, and it's going to be Cancer, and that's heart, that's family, that's just being very vulnerable and wanting to help and to care for others and yourself, and it'll be reciprocated, you know, that's how that works. But you love doing that anyway, Aquarius. So I like this a lot. It feels very much in sync with the fact that your highlighted connection is the Capricorn, which is the earth sign. So you have that nice blend there of the two of you. And you're working together. You're supporting each other. There's a good basis and foundation for this connection, okay? And like I said, it could be of all kinds of love. Friends, you know, family, romance, of course. But that's it. I like that a lot. Let me finish with the rune I like to finish with, as to kind of just culminate the reading. And this is pretty incredible at times, because it's very, very much in tune with the reading. And I put this right on the second category, which is the Page of Pentacles. So that's the new idea, the kind of, just the beginning stages, but, you know, worthy of your time and efforts, because it's going to bring in some good comforts and stability for you. And this is the, I don't know, I think it's supposed to be held to the side. And I'll do it like this. But then I read the back and I let you know the exact name for the, I was going to say coin, the rune, and what it represents and means specifically. So that particular, it's number 2, Euros. And number 2 is about partnership and relationships. Choose. Always power in 2, right? I mean, that's where it's at, and you love that anyway. I mean, although you love your love, and you love romance, and you're great, and you care greatly for the ones that you care for and you love. But a lot of times, Aquarians are thinking big picture, like they want to help everybody. Yeah, they love their relationships, but be aware, if you're with an Aquarius, They're always going to be thinking about a lot of people too. And that's kind of what draws people to a lot of Aquarians, that they have that kind of heart. So like I said, don't think they're not emotional. They're just very keen on their intellect. You know, that's just a very important part of an air sign. So we'll go right in there to the number 2, which is, like I said, what did I say? That is Uranus. Now the time frame is between, it's coming up, July 14th and July 29th. So you're talking between Cancer season, which we're in, and Leo, which is great fire energy for you. Oh, I love Aquarius and Leo energy together. You work so well, you love so well. And it's the air and fire dance, you know? It's almost like Mars and Venus together. It's beautiful. And I see it all the time. So the words reflected to and for this particular rune in this reading and now is freedom, power, frenzy, passion, conquest, progress. Oh my gosh. Courage with that Leo influence, which is what the time frame is. It's all about our, you know, our courage and our strength and knowing we are actually stronger than we've ever given ourselves credit for sometimes. I think we've all realized that too from this last year. What else can I say? Okay, risk of failure for those who exaggerate. So just something to think about. If you're going to exaggerate a lot, which by the way comes with Leo season because they're all about that ego and I'm ruled by the sun and it's all about me and I'm the leader and I love it and I care about people. I'm so passionate and so heart-centered, but I can be a little extravagant. I can be a little exaggerated, you know, at times. It's just who I am. You know, it's just what I'm used to being. I've got that flair. I've got that, you know, nothing small with Leo. So, but anyway, that's a beautiful indication of things as well. So it tells me on this second category of the possible blessings or obstacles and the page, it's a blessing. It is a blessing. It's just progression as it's organically happening. And the earth being maybe taking a little longer, but it'll last. And I prefer that. So I'm going to go on to your oracle message. And it is the wisdom of the oracle. This is for every single beautiful Aquarius out there. And every one of your beautiful connections that love and mean and have great meaning to you. And the world would be nowhere without our relationships, you know? That's what it's really about. We find that out more and more, I think. And that really fills my heart to know and see that. So your specific beautiful message, Aquarius, for today, the 28th of June, is a change in the wind. It's just so perfect. And it is number 12. And that equals the 3, which is all about growth in numerology. Growth, expansion, help from others, you know, community and family and so forth. It's such a cool picture. I've got to show you. It's the zebra with some kind of like a gazebo and a weather vane on top of it, like the wind change. If you feel that intuitively, which is be very much a part of this incredible Jupiter expansion in Pisces of our creativity, our imagination, our intuition, our psychic ability, our feeling. It's feeling and sensing and knowing. We all have that gift. That's pretty wonderful, boy. And it's for good. I feel that so strongly. It's like a weather vane inside of me sometimes. You know that feeling, you know, and you kind of can almost mix it with anxiety, but it's far more special, and it's not something that makes you feel like it's a bad thing. It's just it's exhilarating. I'm going to read you what it says from the book, though. And it says for number 12, oops, one more. Wow, that's a bigger one, I guess. A sense that unseen change has been initiated. That would be the beginning with the page 2. Preparation for a storm. Awareness that your plans are not on firm ground yet. Feeling a shift. Uncertainty about which direction the winds will blow. So I mentioned earlier in the reading and description that I was feeling intuitively, and what the cards tend to mean, is that the pages are still, and it's so weird. It's like it didn't even want to come out. That's the throat chakra. There's somebody's not wanting to say what they need to say or ask the right questions, you know, in order to get the information from this new concern or interest of yours. And I mentioned as an example, you know, you're wanting to look for property or buy a property, because I know an Aquarius that's doing that. They still need to go and figure it out, go check out the places, and a lot of variables about that, right? So that takes time, and that takes the patience and coordinating it with your other daily responsibilities and such. So there's still not 100% of a feeling of security yet, because you're still in the stage of inquiry, I suppose. Okay, so that makes sense. It's human nature to yearn for certainty and resist change. I mean, it is, and yet it can be so fun, you know, and so exciting. And I think you lean towards that side, Aquarius, to be honest, as opposed to your highlighted Capricorn. They're interested in, because they like to start things. Once they start them, they don't necessarily want to keep changing, you know, direction. Yet nothing in human experience is black and white, like the zebra, nor will anything remain static. The one thing guaranteed is change, remember? Now is the time of transformation of outer conditions, as outer conditions are temporarily moving out of sync with your desires and expectations. Stay the course and remember that even storms serve to clear the air. Scatter seeds and nourish the soil, which is the grounding influence around you, for better things ahead. Life is about to get interesting. Anticipate it with curiosity as you wonder what is coming in on the shifting winds. The unknown is where the magic lies. And it's true. I love that at times when I think, oh, I think too much, first of all. I'm an air sign, but I also am a lot of water, and I feel and think, wow, I can imagine this, and I would like to manifest this, and so forth. And then I say, you know what, universe, you got this. You got so much more view and vision than I do at this time. Sometimes, you know, I know when I'm in a point where I'm like, yeah, I'm not seeing as much as I probably could. Show me what you got. You know, I'll take it all. I'm good. Use me, you know. Use me, universe. So, yeah, that's where you're at right now. And I still feel good about it. And I hope you do as well. And we'll finish with your oracle. That is the Super Attractor Manifestation deck, which creates the feelings that you can derive to accomplish and create and manifest the life you want. That's like the last special ingredient in the recipe of all the ingredients. That's going to make that pie into reality, okay? So, as an analogy. And feeling good, of course, it has to be that feeling good. Not really, because you can feel bad and bring that in too. We do that a lot, you know. I mean, I don't think that's what you really want. But your message is, my super attractor power comes from how I feel, my faith and love, and the joy I put out. So there you go. And there's that red, you know, chakra, root chakra that just grounds you in and just makes you feel present and balanced and in the now. And that's where a lot of energy can come from. So there you go. And I really appreciate you so much for tuning in. Like I said, if you've lasted this long, if you haven't subscribed, please push that subscribe button. It's like a follow for me. It means a lot. I really appreciate it. I want to continue to grow my channel, of course. And YouTube wants to see that too. And if you like it, let me know. Just a quick little thumbs up. It's a really nice feeling. I appreciate it all. I never see it too much or expect it or anything else, but I definitely appreciate it. So enjoy your rest of this wonderful week. It's going to have a lot of beautiful, beautiful energies coming through for you. And until next time, take good care. Thanks. Bye for now.